Dear friends, this is what we've been waiting for. We are resuming. Please, those having their coffees can come back to their seats. We'll be starting. Just to introduce, many of our guests don't need an introduction. They're popular figures, but still let me introduce them. We have Mr. Milind Deora. He's 2 times MP. Please give him a round of applause. 2 times MP from the Congress, and he's also now an MP from the Shiv Sena, represented by Mr. Shinde, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, that faction. And we also have with us Mr. Ramesh Chennithala. He is, I must tell you, especially there are young students who are students of journalism. You must know he was one of the youngest of the MLAs and the youngest minister in Mr. Karunakaran's government in Kerala. Give him a round of applause. And he's a member of AICC, and what is important and why he is here on the platform is that he is in charge of Congress affairs in Maharashtra and will be probably guiding the party through the turmoil and the storms which are going to follow with the elections coming up. So I think it'll really be an exciting discussion. Just not to have Mr. Milind lose credit, he's also one of the youngest MPs. At 27, he became an MP. And I must say, because I'm a South Bombayite, and I know he's one of the most approachable. As he came, I told him, as a society of flats in South Mumbai, you could approach him as an MP and he'd come and discuss the problems of drains, the problems of all sorts of issues. As his father was always approachable, as a business journalist, we used to be constantly sitting at his office. So both extremely approachable gentlemen, and I'm sure we're going to have a fantastic discussion. As far as the anchors go, we've got our solid anchors, Mr. Sudhir Suryavanshi, the political editor for us. Could I invite him on stage? Where is Sudhir? He and our group editor, Santwana Bhattacharya, the two of them will be cross-examining them and telling us what's going to happen in Maharashtra in the coming days. Please, Santwana. Also, just for the purpose of how we do this, I'm sure this is going to throw up a lot of questions. We've got some really senior people, journalists, people like Vidyadhar Date, Mr. S. Balakrishnan here. Lots of questions are going to get generated. So could I request that at the end, once the discussion of the panel is over, maybe you can spend about 10 minutes or so. So if the anchors allow it, we can circulate the mic after the session's over for about after 20-25 minutes. Maybe we can have about 10 minutes dedicated to a few questions from the floor. So Sudhir, Santwana, please, if there are any hands going up, please allow them some time. Thank you so much.
Sure. Gurbir has already done an introduction, but I would still say, why are we talking to Ramesh Chennithala in Mumbai and not in Thiruvananthapuram? That is because he is in charge of the Congress party, which has been showing some upswing since the Lok Sabha election. That's why he's here discussing the prospect of his party in Maharashtra. Tell me something. First of all, congratulations for your party's performance in the last Lok Sabha election. Going from 1 seat to 13 in Maharashtra was no mean feat. Especially when you were power here for very long and suddenly lost steam. Along with that, some of the young faces like Milind Deora sitting next to you. what are the challenges you face right now as you go into the election? Uh, what do you remember that right after giving responsibility as Maharashtra Congress in charge, you know, one of your main Congress leader, Ashok Chavan, left the party. That was just before the Lok Sabha election. Nobody really thought that Congress would emerge on the stage as a largest party in Maharashtra. But where do you go from here when you have lost so many leaders in the stalwarts like Ashok Chavan and young and prominent faces like Milind Deora?
At the outset, I would like to thank New Indian Express for giving an opportunity for me to talk to all this enlightened audience and very prominent journalists and friends. It's very difficult to criticize my good friend. Actually, his father was my friend. Milan is just like our younger brother. But at the same time, I had to do my duty as an in charge of Maharashtra Congress Party. I was been given this assignment by the Congress President 5 months back. As you rightly said, when I came here, party was not in a good shape. That time, the first meeting he attended with me, but then the other day he has to leave the party. It was his conscious decision. Anybody has got their own liberty in this country to have their own way. After that, you rightly said, Mr. Ashok Chavan, who was a very close friend of mine, and when I was Indian Youth Congress All India President, he was my state vice president. I only put him as a state vice president. It's a long-time association with him. Unfortunately, he also left. So there was definitely there was a setback for the Congress party. From the setback, we try to wake up and we try to organize and we try to discipline ourselves. We try to move to the people, work in the people with a short time and unitedly. That is more important. Always you can see in Congress party, there are disunity in our party ranks and the state leadership level. By seeing this as a big challenge, leaving some of very important people, leaders, we all get together and we thought that we will have a good fight. And at the same time, the national scenario also helped us. So people are totally against the national government. And Modi's popularity was coming down, but nobody evaluated it. All the medias were after him. People said that medias, after the election also medias projected that they are going to get 400 plus. But the reality was something else. The situation in Maharashtra is entirely different, I am telling you. Because of Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh, the BJP government, BJP couldn't get a single majority. Situation in Maharashtra is like, as in charge by 5 to 7 months experience in Maharashtra, I can very well tell you, Maharashtra is a place of Congress. Basically, the people believes in the ideology of Congress party, right from the independence days onwards. Because of we had made so many mistakes, so people were little unhappy with us. And the way in which the government has been toppled by BJP has not taken in a right sense by the people of Maharashtra. The way in which the government has toppled in Karnataka was an example. I say that they didn't learn the lessons from the Karnataka. Karnataka government was toppled by defecting some of the MLAs and they formed a government under the leadership of Mr. Bommai. When the elections were conducted, the people voted Congress again with a thumping majority, without any alliance. That shows the anger of the people. That shows the anguish of the people. And that shows the betrayal has been given a befitting reply by the people of Karnataka. Same way it is going to happen in Maharashtra also. Because this government, the present day government is not an elected government. They don't have the major support of the majority of the people in Maharashtra. And the government headed by Mr. Uddhav Thackeray was doing well. The COVID issues he handled very properly. And under his leadership, that crisis was get over by the Maharashtrian people, unlike other states. And our loans were waived. So many measures were taken by that government. And it was doing very well. People are satisfied with the government. In one day, because of the greed of power, the government has been toppled by the help of CBI, ED and the central government. It was not been accepted by the people. That is the main reason for the loss of Maha in the last parliament elections. And they had given us 14 seats, not 13, madam, one independent also, Sangli. 14 seats we won, and total Maha Vikas Aghadi won 31 seats out of 46. So I feel that the same result will be repeated in the ensuing assembly elections also. Because there are so many issues that I think that later on we will come. And the people are very much upset with the present day government. One day you are alleging that 76 crores of rupees has been embezzled by a deputy chief minister. And the other day when he joins in your ranks, you said that he is a gentleman, he is a good man, and he is not corrupt. How the people of the state will agree to that? And one of your deputy chief minister goes in Nanded and saying that he is not a leader, he is a dealer. Next day, when he joined your party, he says that he is one of the biggest leader, clean leader. How the people will take this? So, the people in this country, especially in Maharashtra, they voted with a farsightedness. They voted with, according to their experience. Farmer suicide, I was told that 20,000 farmers were committed suicide. It's the largest in this country. 20,000 farmers committed suicide. And also, whenever I am touring the entire state, I can see the soybean farmers are in distress. Ganna kisans are in distress. Cotton kisans are in distress. This piyaj, onion farmers are in distress. Yeah. So the entire farming community is in distress. And moreover, everywhere we go, their agitations, their people are coming and giving us memorandums regarding the fate of the farmers. Who has to solve? Central government as the state government is primarily responsible for this kind of issues. Unemployment is rising. And also main industries are going away from Maharashtra. And Gujarat, I am not against Gujarat or any Karnataka or any other state. If any state is getting some investment, it is well and good. But not at the cost of Maharashtra. Not at the cost of the people of Maharashtra. Industries are going from here to Gujarat without any reason. Recently, this solar power project has gone. So many other projects are gone. I don't want to take all the names. Why it is going like that? And the first cabinet meeting of the this Maha government has taken a decision to give 65% of the total amount which has been given to the Ahmedabad, Mumbai bullet train. 65%. Mumbai, Gujarat is taking only 40 to 45%. First decision was that. And also, industries are going from here. Especially when I was in Pune, people are coming and telling that this is a hub of our IT. But now the people are leaving, industries are going, no roads, and traffic is so much. People are going away from here. So many other things. So there is no jobs for the people. Price rise is going up. Farmers are suffering. And law and order. Law and order is the main issue. I wish that Fadnavis should have been here. He is the Home Minister. It is his duty to maintain peace and amenity in the state. I was also Home Minister in a state of like Kerala. Lawlessness is the order of the day. Every day we are hearing somebody is shot dead in Pune, somebody is shot in Nagpur, somebody is shot in Mumbai. This kind of a worst situation which I never witnessed in my political life. Everywhere. And a small girl has been raped the other day. And there's a lot of agitation. And the rampant corruption which is taking place. So everybody is aware of this. And also Shivaji Maharaj's statue has, even in that also people are leveling corruption. So I don't understand why people will vote for the present day government. On what is the merit of this government? Now the central government is mentioning about one country, one election. They couldn't do election together in Haryana, Jharkhand, Jammu Kashmir and Maharashtra. Earlier election commission was announcing all these 4 elections together. The preachers of one country, one election, why they are not given simultaneous election in Maharashtra also? So these are all political gimmicks. People understood all these things. So we are very confident, madam, that we will come back with a good majority and we will try to help the people of Maharashtra and we will try Congress, NCP, Shiv Sena, our Maha Agadi will try to give good governance to the people of Maharashtra.
Yeah, Ramesh ji, you have gone in details on why people should vote for the Congress and your coalition partners. But basically what you are saying is, listing out is what you see as a failure of your opponent party, not what you are planning to do for Maharashtra or what is your roadmap for the city of Mumbai and Maharashtra. We will go to go to Milind exactly on this point, because development and infrastructure has been close to Milind's heart, and he's been always talking about that. There is no reason we don't have to explain why we are talking to Milind here on this issue. And he is what we call the Sobo kid, okay, who has grown into a mature politician and in the Rajya Sabha now, which is the House of the Elders. So now you have to. There is always been this debate about Delhi versus Mumbai, which is the real capital of the country. But in terms of the financial heft, in terms of heft and power to some extent. But I will draw you to the question of Mumbai's infrastructure, and there are so many projects. It is also being said, been taken to Ahmedabad and Gujarat. So the debate is no longer about importance of Mumbai versus importance of Delhi, but it is also now becoming importance of Mumbai versus importance of Ahmedabad. And Mumbai, we can see, have grown in patches, but it is not a seamless development, so to speak, or a regeneration of a city. So your thoughts on that as you reply to some of Ramesh ji's pointed allegations at the failures of your coalition government right now.
Well, firstly, good afternoon to everyone, and thank you once again to New Indian Express for having me here. I must admit that when Sudhir ji called me, I specifically asked him, is it a political debate? Is it a panel discussion? And he said, no, it'll be a one-on-one interview. I said, if we can focus on Mumbai's development, on infrastructure, whatever the challenge is, the good, the bad, the ugly of how things are moving ahead, that would be preferable. I didn't know that I would get to meet someone who I admire very deeply, Ramesh Chennithala ji here today. And I certainly didn't expect that I'd be having a panel discussion and a face-off, because at a personal level, I have extremely high regards for Ramesh ji. I considered him a leader at the time. I still consider him a senior leader. He was a very close friend of my father. My father had personally very high affinity for Ramesh ji, as do I. And I have no hesitation as a former congressman in saying that he's, in my 20 years of politics, I don't want to upset any other friends, but the best general secretary that Congress has sent to Maharashtra. Having said that, as Ramesh ji rightly said, he has to make political statements. This is a public forum. So do I. On a political, I was hearing Ramesh ji's, comments about this election, moving a little bit away from the heat and the intensity just before an election. If you look at Maharashtra's 20, 30-year political history, what have been big political disruptions that have happened in this state? And it's important to put that into context. In 99, if I'm not mistaken, Ramesh, correct my memory. I was not in politics at the time. It was 99. At the time, Sharad Pawar was a senior leader of the Congress. He left the Congress party on Mrs. Gandhi's foreign origin issue, and he started the NCP. I think he left, Charan, if I'm not mistaken, few months before the Lok Sabha election, and he then fought the Lok Sabha election separate from the Congress. And the Vidhan Sabha, Lok Sabha elections happened together. And within a month or 2 months after the election, formed a government with the Congress. That was a big disruption. A smaller disruption, if you will call it a disruption, was, I think, when Raj Thackeray left the Shiv Sena. A Thackeray member of the family leaving the Shiv Sena was also a political disruption. In 2019, what is important to note, people often say this government was unnatural. Actually, in 2019, the mandate of the people of Maharashtra was in favor of NDA. The people of Maharashtra voted for an NDA government. What happened consequently was unnatural. Now, I've seen Congress for the last 20, 30, 40 years as a child growing up. And I know many of my friends in the Congress party who remain in Mumbai and Maharashtra. If you asked anyone, Congress, NCP coming together, always some problems here and there, issues in 15 years of the state government, 10 years of UPA government. Congress and Shiv Sena coming together was completely unheard of, unimaginable, ideologically completely two different poles apart. In fact, in the Congress mindset, Shiv Sena was even more extreme in the Congress mindset to BJP. There was a Hindutva element, and there was also a regional element, which BJP in that sense did not have. So that disruption that happened was in many ways an unnatural disruption. And again, I will not want to put Ramesh ji on the spot, and I would like to move away from this political debate and move to something more constructive. But it caused a disruption within the Congress camp. And I know my own story. I know what disruption it caused and what led me to take certain decisions. The fact that Congress had to cede space for a party that till 1 month before the alliance came together was making the most vile, hateful comments against Congress party, against its leaders. I don't want to quote those statements to embarrass my friends in the party. That was a serious political disruption. And I remember that when that happened, as any disruption in technology, in the private sector, in politics, leads to a reaction. And I knew that there would be a reaction. One reaction was Mr. Shinde moving out, going back to what the voters of Maharashtra had voted for in 2019. So I think firstly, when we say that the people of Maharashtra did not vote for this government, that's factually incorrect. 5 years ago when the election happened, the people of Maharashtra voted for an NDA government. Secondly, the alliance that exists on the MVA side, yes, there are contradictions in every side. I'm willing to accept that. Today, politics in Maharashtra has a lot of contradictions. But without saying whose side has more contradictions, I think there are far greater ideological compromises that have happened on issues like Veer Savarkar, on issues like Hindutva, on many, many issues that exist on the other side than exist here. So that's the limited political point I want to make. Now, moving forward, there are other issues that were also brought up and which are political issues, and these are good issues that we must talk about. Where is the growth of Maharashtra? What is happening? Law and order. You know, I'll tell you, I've been seeing this city, particularly Mumbai, and we are all proud that Mumbai is, you ask me which is better, Mumbai or Delhi. I mean, with due respect to anyone who's from Delhi, Mumbai will always be, for me, personally the number one city in terms of lifestyle, in terms of people, in terms of the way people are open to ideas, in terms of the cultural diversity. And today I can proudly say, and I'm sure that anyone who lives in Mumbai is seeing a massive transformation in the way this city is moving about. A bridge like the Trans Harbour Sea Link. In 2004, when I first became an MP, in fact, Sudhirji, if you pull out my old speeches, there was no Twitter at the time, 2004. That time I was saying we must have a Trans Harbour Sea Link. And I was using the example of Manhattan and New York, which Rameshji in 1885, Manhattan was becoming a congested part of New York. And to decongest Manhattan, they built the Brooklyn Bridge, 1885, with a 200-year vision. Today, 150 years later, that bridge is still serving its purpose to decongest Manhattan. That's the same thing, that's the same objective with which we wanted the Trans Harbour Sea Link. That's finally happened. Today, a coastal road project has happened. It's going to go and extend up to Virar. So you'll have, for people who commute by cars, you will have massive north-south connectivity. You'll have massive east-west connectivity. You'll have an underground tunnel which is already underway from Nariman Point to P. De Mello Road, from which you get on the Trans Harbour Link. You have an over-road flyover from Worli to Shivdi, which will connect to the Trans Harbour Link. You have a road from Virar going all the way to the east. For public transportation, you have a north-south metro which is happening, which was stalled, unfortunately, not by the Congress, but by the other Shiv Sena, the UBT faction. We lost 4 years because of that project, which is serving who? Not serving Rameshji or Milind. It's serving the people who use public transportation. So when you have these disruptive projects, you'll have a Navi Mumbai airport which will come. You'll have a Vadhavan port which will come in Palghar. If you look at Palghar in the north, which is today a 4.5, 5-hour drive from Mumbai, going south up to, say, Dighi, the MMR region, the Mumbai metropolitan region, will extend beyond Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, Thane, to Palghar, to Alibag and Raigad in the east. Ambarnath, all those areas will come in. You will have Navi Mumbai Airport, you'll have Mumbai Airport. There is a plan for a third airport in Palghar. You will have a third Mumbai coming up. This region can be a humongous growth engine, not for Maharashtra, for the country. And I often say, today one of the country's biggest growth engines, and it's very important to understand this in the urban context. Today one of the country's biggest growth engines is the NCR region in the north. But the NCR region is administered by 4 state governments, by the government of Delhi, by Haryana, by UP in Noida, and to some extent by Rajasthan. So you have 4 state governments competing for the NCR pie. If tomorrow Delhi doesn't provide a good enough incentive, government of Haryana can. Maharashtra is one state which is trying to make this entire region competitive. And the way to do that is to transform and extend the MMR region. Recently, we brought Klaus Schwab, who's the leader of the World Economic Forum, to Mumbai. We've signed, government of Maharashtra has signed an MOU with the World Economic Forum to bring in more investments in the infrastructure space. A man like him who understands urban development, he made a statement that very few cities in the world will have 2 airports which are less than 30 minutes from where you live, probably from any place that you live in Mumbai, by road or by public transportation. Now, the metro will have the golden line number 8, which will connect Navi Mumbai Airport to Mumbai Airport. So a commuter who's in Mumbai Airport has to connect via public transportation, can even connect to Navi Mumbai using that. So I think it's unfair to say that what is happening in Maharashtra is not good enough. I think that there's great traction, great growth, great development that has happened. In fact, many a times we people from Mumbai and politicians often say Mumbai is being ignored and other parts of Maharashtra are getting. Today I can confidently say that Mumbai is getting a lot of attention, and it's a welcome attention. So these are things that we should be focusing on. These are the areas which will strengthen the city, strengthen the state, strengthen India, create jobs. Today, with World Economic Forum, the debate is happening, how do we make Mumbai a fintech capital? How do we make Mumbai a creative services capital? Using the film industry base that we have, using the finance base that we have. Whether we like it or not, Maharashtra, to a large extent, the IT pie, someone talked about IT, information technology has moved to the south. Today, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Telangana, Chennai, these have become IT hubs in the country. There's no doubt about it. But does that mean that a city like Mumbai and Maharashtra cannot become a fintech hub? We still have the financial services industry headquartered here. We still have the creative services industry here. Today, all the large advertising firms, the large Bollywood movie industry, it's all headquartered here. So I think we have a great potential. We are doing very well. And I would say that I see clarity today in where Mumbai and Maharashtra has to go developmentally. There is no confusion. We want to protect the environment. We want the environment to prosper. Nobody is saying that to development at the cost of the environment. But that does not mean that for the sake of someone's ego, you scuttle a project, lose 4 years in a public transportation project like the metro. There's clarity. We want to move ahead, and people are seeing that change. If you're a commuter by public transportation, you will see that change. I'm sure even Ramesh ji, when he comes to Mumbai, and he's come to Mumbai in the last few months, and he's traveled by the coastal road, he's traveled by Atal Setu, he's traveled by other projects, there is a positive change. So these are things that we must focus on. I can make political points. I would not want to make those political points. Today, some time back, I met an industry group 2 days ago, in fact, a trader group from South Mumbai. And they were saying that, the investment climate has improved significantly in Maharashtra. And they said to me that few years ago, when, Ramesh ji, you don't have to defend this is not related to your party, but few years ago when the MVA was in power, a rogue policeman was planting bombs and extorting money from industrialists. And at that time, the chief minister, when asked a question, what do you have to say about this man? He gave him a clean sheet. He said, he's not Osama bin Laden. And that man is in jail. That mood, which affected the mindset of an industrialist, had a huge impact on the mindset of a trader. Saying that if it can happen to the country's biggest industrialist, what can happen to me? So sometimes there are unfortunate incidents that happen.
Mumbai had a long history and tryst with crime and the underworld. So it is not specific to any government that way. In fact, it is. I agree with you that it has.
I don't think in the past a sitting chief minister of any party, and I say this, even a Congress chief minister would never have made a statement saying that this is something which is okay, why should, and almost defending that person. If you want Mumbai to be the commercial center, you want investments to stay. Today, in the last 2.5 years, we are attracting the highest FDI. We were number 2. There's no reason why we should have been number 2. There's no reason why we should have been the second highest attractor.
But Maharashtra has slipped, right?
No, in FDI, in attracting FDI, for instance, we are back to number 1.
In terms of economic, this thing, very surprisingly, Ramesh's status is looking up.
No, where do you, today, if you look at the Maharashtra government's own economic survey, now this is data which nobody should refute. Their own economic survey tabled in the assembly is saying that they are, for 2 consecutive years in a row, are the highest attractors of foreign direct investment. We were number 2, yes. A few years ago, we've gone up to number 1. Is that not a good feat? That's a good thing. We are the fastest growing economy in the country is that that's happened in the last few years. We have the fastest growing per capita income in the countries. Good. If other states, I went to Kochi recently, I was telling Rameshji, Kerala is growing, Kerala is doing well. Good for other places to do well. But I feel Maharashtra has certain skill sets which allow us to compete and outperform other states in the country. But for that, you need a conducive environment. And when I say conducive environment, when there's a law and order problem that happens, the government must respond immediately, take action immediately, not protect anyone. If anyone protects, if the government I'm a part of protects someone, I condemn that. If someone else protects that, I condemn that. Those are the qualities which have made Mumbai and Maharashtra the growth engine of the country. And those are the values we must continue.
But we must, Milindji, appreciate Chennithala ji also to linking, 3-4 remote places together and turning into the best result in the Lok Sabha. I just want to ask Ramesh ji, can you share his experience shuffling from Matusri to Silver Oak to Delhi, and then bringing all these, different ideological factors together, and and giving the best result. And apart from that, Congress, Milind also knows it better. Congress is always in Maharashtra divided house. One is from Vidarbha, somebody is from Western Maharashtra, but you also brought them in a one table. So what is the recipe you are giving, and would you like to share with our audience also?
See, as I told you, when Milind, Ashok Chavan, so many other people left the party, it was a big blow to all of us, no doubt about it. Then we thought that how to survive. Because in the parliament we have only one member. That also he was passed away. So if we will not be able to win the considerable number of seats, there is no future for Congress. That was the main thing which I talked to all of my friends. I think that all the leaders, they are all very prominent leaders. And fortunately, we have second line of leadership everywhere in Maharashtra. He was one among them. Like him, so many, if I don't want to take the names, second line leadership in any political party, Congress is the most, is in the front. And we all sat together for days and days, and we discussed and we decided one thing. We will all go together. Whatever happens to the personalities, sink all the differences, we will all go together. And the unity in the party is the most important. As you rightly said, in Congress always there is problems in the party, not only at the leadership level, in the grassroots also. So message has gone that Congress should be united and Maha Aghadi should be united. Then only we have a future. Congress will have a future. Our prime enemy is BJP, no doubt about it. To defeat me, as you rightly said, we have ideological differences with Sena. We have ideological differences with CPM. Even today, we in Kerala, we are fighting with CPM. But at the national level, we have to have an alliance with CPM. Why? To checkmate or to fight against BJP. BJP is the larger enemy. BJP is the larger enemy. So, if we'll get an opportunity to defeat BJP, we formed a common minimum program and had alliance with Shiv Sena. Yes, we have still ideological differences with them. This coalition is on the basis of a common minimum program and for the betterment of the people of Maharashtra as well as for strengthening the social fabric of our country and take on the fight with BJP. So that is why we talk to all our leaders. They are all together now. Fortunately, now everybody understood the reality. When I took charge, Congress was the 6th political party. But now Congress is the #1 political party in Maharashtra. Not because of me.
No, as I said, Ramesh ji is the best General Secretary Congress has sent him.
Not because of me.
But he couldn't retain you.
He's my younger brother. It's not because of me. It's because of the political reality understood by our leaders, both in Maharashtra and Mumbai. And also, one thing I wanted to make it very clear. Rahul Gandhi was very particular. Whenever we met him, he was very particular that Maharashtra, he was always saying in his speeches, Maharashtra is the soil of Congress. He wanted that Congress should be revived. She had given all free hand to us. And also, he had given all patronage to us. So, under his leadership, and the help of all the Maharashtra leaders, they came up to the understand the situation, and we all worked together. And the coalition also. Only one place we had a difference. You know, Sangli. Sangli we cannot compromise because Congress is a bastion of Congress, not from today, the time of I.B. Chaban, Vasantadaza Patil, time onwards. Except others, we all accepted everything and we had a good coalition. It's a teamwork. That is why we got such a majority.
Milind, if you see, Chennithala ji, Eknath Shinde as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra also strengthened his position by winning, almost 7 seats in the Lok Sabha. Besides, you as a hardcore congressman, you always said, and it was also shocked, not for all Congress but common people, but like journalists also. Your father has done, his contribution is immense for the growth of the city and the Congress also. Initially, national level. Initially, we thought that the naturally will go to Ajit Pawar faction or something, but you choose the, Eknath Shinde, that is completely diagonally opposite, as you are accusing or making some allegations against the, Maha Agadi for the different contradictory, ideology. So, how was your journey and how you are settling down with the Shinde Sena?
See, my reasons for leaving Congress are things I have spoken about in the last 6 months before Lok Sabha. Whatever other issues are there, leaders like Ramesh ji and other leaders in Delhi are well aware of that. I don't want to go into that issue. My father used to say something very interesting. And I think in today's day and age of politics, not just in Maharashtra, not just in India, but around the world, in many ways, ideology, who aligns with who, where are the contradictions. But in so many ways, ideologies sometimes divide us more than unite us. And my father often said, more than ideologies, follow good ideas. Now, Mr. Shinde came to me with a very clear suggestion. I want to take Mumbai forward. I want to take Maharashtra forward. I want to attract more investments to this state. Will you come and help me in this journey? Why I left Congress is a different issue. When two things happen together, for any individual, regardless of which profession you're in, whether you're a politician, whether you're a journalist, if you feel as an individual that you're not being valued to the level that you deserve, you give it a try once, you give it a try twice, you give it a try thrice. If repeatedly you feel that there is an attempt by whoever, by someone who has certain power and capability to change the course of that direction, but there is an attempt to perhaps sideline you, it's but natural to move towards a place where you feel rewarded and you feel that you can perform to the best of your abilities. So I stayed with Congress during its 10 most difficult years. I did whatever I could at every level, which the leadership knows, some things which in public domain, some things which are in the private domain. I did everything, I left no stone unturned. But Mr. Shinde is somebody who I can say is someone I admire for his tenacity, I admire for his work ethic, I admire for his accessibility. And you rightly pointed out that he was being written off in the Lok Sabha as somebody who will get 1 or 2 Lok Sabha seats. The party fought 15 seats and we won 7 seats. The closest comparison will be UBT. They fought a higher number of seats and their strike rate was lower.
We call it a strike rate ratio.
Yes, I think strike rate is an important thing because, and especially when a party it has the symbol, it has the name, but no, Shiv Sena, this Shiv Sena, and it has the symbol and the name, but it's relatively a startup. It's still a startup. And for that party to be able to succeed, for win over the people, and to say that we're coming, we're willing to vote for you. So these are things now going into the detail. How did UBT get their seats? Whose votes transferred? Whose didn't? The fact is that a large amount of UBT's votes have moved to Shiv Sena. And I can tell you one thing, as much as whether anyone wants to discount Mr. Shinde, regardless of what the outcome will be in the next 2-3 months, he will be a leader to stay in Maharashtra. He will be a person who will be relevant in Maharashtra politics. In his own, in the area of Thane and Kalyan, which are traditional, as you know, Sudhirji, quote unquote, Sena strongholds. I know people from UBT who said that Thane will come to us and Kalyan, you will win. Thane also, where some of us in our party were expecting we would win by 25,000-30,000 votes. A surveyor said we will win by 45,000 votes. I think the lead was 230,000 votes. So ultimately, as I said, you have to be in a place where you feel rewarded, you feel motivated. When a World Economic Forum chief is coming to Mumbai, if I'm able to play a role to help bring investments to Maharashtra, I feel rewarded. These are areas that I want to work on. If I can help guide the state government, guide the chief minister on what can we do to improve governance, to improve infrastructure in the city, I feel rewarded. These are things I want to do. If I can find a way and help work with them to say, how do we create affordable housing? These are things, in fact, my late father used to focus on. Today, Rameshji, there is a project in Maharashtra, in Mumbai specifically, called the PMGP, the Prime Minister's Grant Project. The most common Maharashtrian people who live here have benefited and have received homes from that. In fact, my father in 1985, when Rajiv Ji was the Prime Minister, he gave 100 crores for that project. And today, thousands of people have benefited from that. How do we create a cluster redevelopment project which creates a huge benefit for the people of Mumbai? Today, a cluster redevelopment happens in a chawl or a slum. The tenant gets 600 square feet of homes. In fact, we can proudly say that the first cluster redevelopment project in the country was brought by me. Amin Bhai also had a very big role to play to South Mumbai, to Bhendi Bazaar area. And that, in fact, is becoming now a benchmark, not in Maharashtra, not in Mumbai, but around the country. You won't believe it. We've seen state governments coming to Maharashtra to learn about the cluster redevelopment project. I remember when Sheila Dikshit ji was Chief Minister of Delhi, she came to Maharashtra to learn how the SRA, the slum rehabilitation project works here, because other states don't have that scheme, which is really the classic example of a public-private partnership. Today, cluster redevelopment of the Maharashtra government is being looked at by other state governments. How do we, in urban areas which are congested, where there are slums, where there are old, dilapidated buildings, how do we ensure that the area gets developed in a way where not only the poor people get permanent homes, but you also have the ability to plan for the infrastructure of that area on a cluster approach. So these are things which move me, which make me passionate. Honestly, this is why I entered politics in the first place.
Yeah, but Milind, development doesn't always get you the votes. Narasimha Rao was a biggest example of that. And that happened
Look,
to...
can I be honest with you?
Beyond
votes and politics, you have to,
Yeah.
as a politician,
Yeah.
you have to do something to upgrade the city, this village you live in.
Yeah,
Whether you get votes or you don't get votes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Today, I'm happier as a Mumbaikar, whether the government comes to power or doesn't come to power. I'm happier as a Mumbaikar to see this development happening.
Yeah.
One thing is there, whatever Milind is saying, he was in Congress that time, no?
Indeed.
He was talking about the bridges,
Yeah.
he was talking about all the infrastructure developments happened in Mumbai.
Right.
Is not the, 1 minute, is not the contribution of Shinde or Mahayuti. It was the great Congress party and his father.
Yeah.
And the leaders of that time has contributed to Mumbai.
Actually,
That is why we are appreciating.
Actually, Rameshji, I thank you for that. But I must say, no doubt, my father and I were committed to seeing these projects through, unfortunately. And it was great frustration to me even then. And I have a lot of letters and tweets also to prove it. But unfortunately, the Congress dragged its feet on Mumbai's development. Let me be very candid with you. And I have no hesitation in making a public statement. No doubt Mr. Shinde took it forward, but I am not from his party.
But 10 years we are not in power.
No, but to be fair, the man who really deserves credit at a political level for beginning the transformation of Mumbai's development, he's not from my party, but that man is Mr. Devendra Fadnavis. He began the transformation. Without his leadership, we would not have the Atal Setu, which is the Trans-Harbour Link. We would not have had the coastal road. We would not have had the metro being expedited to the speed it's being expedited. No doubt. Successive governments took it forward. I'm not taking credit away from anybody. Mr. Shinde is also committed to moving forward. Unfortunately, the way the Congress was handling the alliance with NCP at the time, and I remember for those 15 years, they were not able to take that development agenda forward. There was a lot of bickering, and there is bickering and little bit of politics in all alliances. It happens all the time.
Now, Milind, you know that in politics if one party rule is there are some problems.
Of course.
Coalitions are also having problems.
Yeah, but
even now,
Rameshji, I'm coming to you on that Milind is going on and on about the development project. Obviously, he's passionate about that and how Mumbai should look forward. In fact, our session and our dialogue is actually about that, about Maharashtra and the road map. That is what we want to discuss.
Yeah,
So you are an old school veteran congressman. So you have to tell us what is the development vision you are bringing about. Milind Deora's father, Milind Deora, we knew him as a face of Mumbai, face of Mumbai's development to a great extent. Do you have such leaders anymore in the party? And what is the things that you list out is about the failings or the disadvantages, political disadvantages of your opponent. But what is your roadmap ahead? Even if I say that development doesn't always get you the votes.
Mr. Narendra Modi always saying that double engine. I wanted to ask, 10 years double engine government is here. What happened to Mumbai or Maharashtra? Now, see, Dharavi is an example. Who is the beneficiary? He was telling about the port in Palgaon. How you can understand the plight of the tribals. Who is taking care of them? This development should be for the poor and needy and the common man. Development is a good idea. I also support him. But development for whom? Development should not be benefited for some big industrialists and corporates in this country. It should percolate into the poor, downtrodden, marginalized sections of the society. Development, we all agree. Development, the vision is important. Development for whom? Development not for corporates. Yes, corporates are also needed for the development of the country. But they are not the sole. If they are the sole beneficiaries, we have to oppose to that. And also, now what is happening in our country? In our country, all the airports are leased out or sold out, or the ports are sold out, or the big public investments are going away. To whom? 1 or 2, 3 people. That cannot be accepted. This country has got the wealth. This country has produced this wealth. The common man, the poor man in this country has contributed for the development of this nation. And the fruits of this development should not go to 1 or 2, 3 corporates in this country, which we will oppose. That is why my leader, Rahul Gandhi, is very strongly opposing this kind of politics. We are for the development, but not at the cost of the poor, tribal, SC, and marginalized sections of the society.
Rameshji, the opening up or the privatization of of the infrastructure projects, etc. It all started with the liberalization of the economy,
Yes.
which happened for the with the Congress.
Yes, I agree with that.
government.
I-
Are you trying to say that Rahul Gandhi is taking you back to the 70s politics, where we'll go back to being a government-run, state-owned business, that kind of economy?
No, not at all.
Are you trying to say that the economic liberalization process, which took place under your help, is being reversed in some manner?
Madam, you had not understood what I say. Yes, Congress party under the leadership of Mr. Narasimha Rao brought this country into the path of liberalization. We accepted it. But in the Congress resolution passed in Bangalore, AICC session, and his father was also there that time, it was correctly mentioned, liberalization with a human face. What I am saying is, we are welcoming development, we are welcoming investment. Every government of present day in all over the world is attracting investment, but not at the cost of the poor people, yearning struggling for getting a meal, a decent meal for a day. Now, you can see what is happening in Dharavi. You can see what is happening in Palgaon. You can see what is happening in the airports. What change the airports are when these airports were sold out? What is the change happening here? What happened in Mumbai airport? What change they had brought in? They had purchased the Trivandrum airport. What they have sea change they had done? Nothing. This country's wealth cannot be sold out to some corporates. That is why Rahul Gandhi is against. Rahul Gandhi is not against liberalization or privatization, but not at the cost of the poor people. The fruits of development go and percolate into the poor and needy people of this country. That is our argument.
Okay.
See, can I make one quick point? Ramesh ji, I'm sure will have to leave. I'll also have to leave. You know, on the development issue, I think that there must be unanimity, and I think that the public at large, not just in Mumbai or Maharashtra, but around the country, I think public, you said, is development and is infrastructure a political and electoral issue? In my opinion, it should become one. And I genuinely believe that the voters of any state, of any city, of the country should punish any politician, any party that scuttles developmental efforts. Now I'll give you a small example. Navi Mumbai airport, it's delayed by 4 years. Now I know one thing, that when Dr. Manmohan Singh was Prime Minister of India, he was holding environment charge. He gave green clearance for the Navi Mumbai airport that time. The project was moving ahead. Somebody in the government came and overturned that clearance. Overturned the Prime Minister's clearance. Imagine. And because of which the Navi Mumbai airport is delayed by 4 years. Metro, same thing happened. Someone said, no, we don't want this to be an RA shed, move it to Kanjunmarg. Because of that, we lost almost 4 years. There was potentially a cost escalation. So when we delay these projects, ultimately the city, the state, the country loses. You know, going into now Adani bidding for Dharavi, I personally feel if tomorrow a government changes, you don't like that person, change them, but don't scuttle the Dharavi development. Dharavi development must happen. Give everyone a home. Everyone must get access to a home. How long can we allow poverty to flourish and not give people their legal right to own a home? Change the policy. In fact, this was a policy when I remember when Prithviraj Chavanji was Chief Minister of Maharashtra. At that time, I remember the former MP Eknath Gaikwadji. We used to sit together, meet Prithviraj Chavanji saying, please do Dharavi redevelopment. We all wanted it to happen. You can say don't allow bidder A, bidder B, disqualify someone, change someone. Those are political issues. Although even the Congress government in Kerala had given Adani a port. I was shipping minister. Virinium port was given to Adani by the Congress government in Kerala. But these are political issues, I understand. These are electoral issues. We have to make these statements. Sometimes attack an industrialist, sometimes attack someone, whatever, whether it gets you votes or not, that's a different issue. But don't scuttle the project. That, in my opinion, is a very, very critical issue in our country moving forward. Just for the sake of politics, if any of us, and it could be the people in power today, if tomorrow they are in opposition, they may do that also. For the sake of scoring a political point, if you want to target an individual, you want to target a corporate, remove them, blacklist them. There are many ways government can do those things. But don't scuttle that project. When you scuttle that project, what happens is you delay development. Sometimes when you give a person a project, you sanction a project to them, they take loans from the bank, you suddenly overturn that decision, that company goes bankrupt, the bank has NPAs, it creates a cascading effect in the economy, and ultimately who gains from India's loss? A neighbor who's hostile to us. So it doesn't suit our purpose. If you want development, you want to create jobs, whether you like it or not, you have to encourage investment.
Yeah.
And you have to create a
We hope
conducive
that
atmosphere to create
politics in this country develops
One
in
word.
that
Word.
level of consensus where from a government to another government, there would be continuity and change at the same time.
Now, one thing is there. I totally agree with him. There should be a unanimity in the development projects and activities. My point is only one thing. When you are choosing a project, you should understand whether it will help the poor and needy people of this country. Because the taxpayers' money is going. It's not Adani's money. It's the taxpayers' money. When this goes to the taxpayers' money, they have to be benefited also. The poor man in this society who are living under the line of poverty line, below the poverty line, should be benefited. That is my point. I agree that if government changes also, there should be continuity in projects. Otherwise, then no projects can be commissioned on time. So I agree with that. But the government, the political people who they are ruling the state and the center, they should think for whom. What will be the benefit for the poor people in this country?
Yeah.
It's not that consideration. Such a person is my friend. That's so that I am doing.
But
that.
you know, Ramesh ji, every project, just like say in Mumbai, all these projects we talked about, every housing project, whether it's SRA, whether it's other agencies that are doing these, they are all actually good examples of what is called a public-private partnership, where you're incentivizing a private developer to come in, take that project, redevelop that project. Of course, that developer will make a profit. Otherwise, why will that developer be incentivized? So that is the way forward. Can you have better norms to blacklist the wrong people, put only the right people so that ultimately the tenants, the people living in slums, they benefit? That I agree. But we cannot do away with the fact that you have to give an incentive to someone. People will come in only if there's a profit incentive.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you leave it to the government, but then the government has failed to do it, unfortunately.
Right. We have to sort of open it up for a few questions from the audience. Can we please raise your hands, identify yourself, and then ask the question?
We just need a pointed questions and pointed answer.
Yeah, short question. Short questions.
Ramesh ji, this question is addressed to you.
Please identify yourself.
Yeah, my name is S. Balakrishnan. I'm a journalist from here, and then I'm your gaon wala. I just want to know the Muslim community in India, in Maharashtra, also extremely worried about this Waqf Amendment Bill. It is giving them sleepless nights as to what's going to happen, whether the properties will be taken over by the government, and non-Muslims are also will be on the Waqf board and all that. What is the clear-cut final stand of the Congress party on this bill? And what are the reasons for that?
No, we are opposing that because in Guruvayur temple you cannot have a Muslim, a member in the board. How can we, in the Waqf board, a non-Muslim will be there? These are the basic questions. In the parliament, we raised all these issues. Now it is in the parliament committee. JPC is examining that. In the parliament, we will definitely oppose it. This is only concerning the Muslim community. Waqf is only concerning to their property and their rights. So I think that government should unnecessarily interfere in it. and create a panic among the Muslims is not correct.
But you have a situation in Tamil Nadu wherein a 1500-year-old Hindu temple has been brought under the Tamil Nadu Waqf board is saying it is our property. Islam is 1400 years old, but the temple is 1500 years old. So don't you think this kind of mismatch is going to create problems for the Congress party?
No, the point is that Waqf is different. I don't know about the Tamil Nadu issue. I don't know about that. First time I am hearing it. But Waqf is mainly concerning with the Muslim community. So I think that we should not disturb that system, which is following for a long time.
Thank you.
Next question, please identify yourself.
Yeah, I'm Vidyadhar Date. There are two specific, very big issues about Mumbai. You see, about this Dharavi development plan, I mean, okay, but why on earth, I mean, you're going to rob the entire city of the free land, I mean, railway land, BST bus land, you're going to take over the salt pan land. I mean, this is a major threat to Bombay. I mean, I have no problem with development of Dharavi, but this being done at the expense of the city. Secondly, about public transport, you see, very big talk is going on about the metro. I have been studying this for years. You see, the metro has failed everywhere. I mean, in Bombay, it may pick up after some years, but it's a major financial drain, and you're spending almost 1 lakh crore. And whereas you're starving, the main carrier is the BST bus, and that you're completely starving. I mean, people are shouting. People have to wait for 1 hour.
Sir,
Almost
keep
yeah.
it a little brief.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, these are
I
extremely-
agree with you, but you know about the metro, this thing. Metro connectivity has sort of connected many of the cities like Delhi. It is a lifesaver. But last mile connectivity, which best buses provide, is also vital. Milind, why don't you take the
I mean,
question?
you can't. It's not an either or debate. You need what they call long haul connectivity, which is a metro taking someone from South Mumbai to North Mumbai. Yes, the suburban rail network. Metro is ultimately designed to replace Mumbai's suburban rail network or to augment the suburban rail network. Certainly, your last mile connectivity. You get out at a metro station. You get out at a train station. To get you that connectivity, the last mile connectivity. Yes, the public transportation can be a BST bus, can be a taxi, can be an auto rickshaw, can be something else, can be even pedestrian walkways, which are high quality, world-class pedestrian walkways. So I don't think that these are things which are either or debates. I think both have to happen and coexist together. In fact, when you say there's a lot of money being spent on the metro, if you ask me, my personal opinion, I'm not speaking as a party or a government spokesperson, but as a personal opinion, I personally feel that state governments should put more resources when it comes to transportation networks on public transportation rather than transportations from motorists like me. If we can give the people who use public transportation more relief, in fact, there's been many arguments that coastal road will help motorists, and it's a good thing, but the priority should always be on public transportation. I think it was the mayor of a city in Colombia, of Bogota, who said a developed city is one where the rich people use public transportation. And that has to be the vision for any city when you're planning transportation networks. So I would say there should be a great...
certainly needs to be free of cars. One more question, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
My question is to Chennithala. Minorities are coming back to Congress with a great hope. Do you feel UPT is gaining because of that feeling? And do you feel Uddhav Thackeray is trustworthy ally?
Number one, Uddhav Thackeray is a trustworthy ally, no doubt about it. Secondly, not only minorities, every sections of the society is eagerly now supporting Congress party in the national level as well as in the state level.
Oh, I'm Harish Das, resident of Goregaon West. I'm a Mumbaikar. Mumbaikar is my Karma Bhumi and Karnataka Mandya district is my Janma Bhumi. Mumbaikar keeps the politics secondary and basic amenities and welfare is important for us. I don't trust any politicians or any party as long as where public priorities need to come first, but political selfishness comes. Mumbai car doesn't care which party is ruling, but we want to know how are you tackling the hawker menace, the transports which you are saying, metros and all those things.
Yeah.
How are you developing
Ask
the
a precise
railways, suburban
question.
railways?
Well, firstly, suburban railways are not an issue relating to the state government. They have to do
I
with the
understand,
but you know, see, all these things, when you say, like in the earlier question, that I always believe these debates should never be either or. You can't say I'm doing the metro, so the railway ministry, government of India should ignore the rail network. Everything has to be augmented. I think that what is happening in this city and the way this city is being transformed is when you connect, for instance, Mumbai, which is an island, to the hinterland via, let's say, the Trans-Harbour Sea Link, when you will have a metro connectivity connecting the Navi Mumbai airport to the current airport. You're having public transportation links, you're having motorist links. You are automatically extending the size of the city. You're automatically, as I said, making the MMR region go beyond the MMR region we know today. And therefore, there's tremendous scope for augmentation of infrastructure. So I think that the metro and the state government is playing a catch-up game over 30 years of a backlog. We have a long way to go in catching up to ensure that the infrastructure meets demand. But that doesn't mean the central government should not invest in the railways, if that's what you're suggesting.
How is the hawker menace being tackled? For years together, as far as I know about Bombay.
Yeah.
You can't
We
walk
have to
on the
wrap
footpath.
it up now.
You can't
Yeah.
drive on the roads. How are you doing that? Which
mean,
party is going to take it
Yeah.
on priority?
all parties should have a united view on that.
Consensus on
because
these issues.
that transcends
Okay.
politics.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
thank you.
Ramesh ji. Thank you, Milind, for coming. And yeah.
Very
yeah.
civilized, constructive debate.
Right.
Thank you to you, but more importantly, to Ramesh ji.
Yeah.
And I am very thankful to you.
Yeah.
Thankful.